literally haven't posted anything in 3 months because, but it's okay because this month October wrap-up, I've literally read 8 books this month, which is crazy, and it shouldn't be happening because I literally have mock week in 2 weeks and I haven't done any revision. So yeah, I can say confidently that it's a problem. 8 books is a lot considering that 5 of those books are fat books. I started off with the entire Boys of Tommen series. That's like Finding 13, Keeping 13, Saving 6, Redeeming 6, Taming 7. And they're all fat books. Like, these books are massive. 600 pages for like average of every single book. If you like the Addicted Calloway Sister series and you need another sort of found family like them, then The Boys of Tommen is for you. The first 2 books is about Shannon and Johnny. Johnny's like a rugby pro, like he's gonna go and play internationally pretty much. And Shannon is just a girl, but she has so much trauma. She's living in an abusive household, has been bullied her entire life, and she's just going through it all. And then, you know, first day of school, guess who freaking knocks her out accidentally with his rugby ball? Johnny Kavanagh. He does that, and then he stays with her the entire time in the hospital wing. They're literally so cute. I will say though, Finding 13 is so long for no reason. I don't know why it's so long. Half of that information did not need to be added. And then Keeping 13 is the second book, which I personally liked better than Finding 13 because we finally got down to the nitty gritty, to the actual problem. The problem was being addressed in Keeping 13. Finally, Johnny and Shannon are my favourite of the 3 couples that have been published so far. The next 2 are Saving 6 and Redeeming 6, and they are Joey and Aoife's books. Joey is Shannon's older brother, the protector. Joey was my favourite character in book 1 and 2. It's like bad boy, good girl, but like not really good girl. Aoife just has like the appearance of good girl. Is she really one? Joey is literally like the protector of the entire house. They've got like there's like 6 of them. Joey is like the oldest and he's so broken. Actually look up the trigger warnings of these books. There's so many trigger warnings. Just look them up before you go ahead and read them. But Aoife is like the only one that he opens up to. Like, it's the only person in his life that he's ever told about what's happening, and Aoife's just always been there for him. Like, there is no giving up with Aoife. Like, she's here for the entire thing. My ride or die, that's Aoife. Oh, I love her so much. Literally perfect because Joey and Aoife are so perfect. Like, giving Bonnie and Clyde. And then the last book, well, the most recent book that's been published is Taming 7, which honestly was kind of a letdown compared to the other 4. They follow like the couple that's been like hinted at all through these books. Claire and Gibbsy. Gibbsy is Johnny's best friend and Claire is Shannon's best friend. Claire is literally sunshine and so is Gibbsy. It's literally sunshine. It's literally like childhood friends to lovers because from childhood they're just like, they're literally soulmates. They are like the definition of soulmates, which might be why I didn't really like this book that much. I mean, I liked it obviously because how could you not? I didn't like it as much as the other 2 because maybe it's just like the tropes. Maybe I just don't like the tropes in the book because I am more of like a slow burn. Because at this point, like even at the beginning of Taming 7, they might as well be a couple. They're just not putting a label on it. Almost like the entire first half, I was struggling to understand what the problem is. And then it got deep and then it got dark. So yeah, again, look up trigger warnings. Okay, that's the entire Boys of Tommen, Finding 13, Keeping 13, blah 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 blah. The next book I read, Carrie Soto's Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid so much. I'm like out to read her entire discography or whatever it's called for authors. So I had to pick up Carrie Soto's Back because I don't know, I just felt like it. I wanted to read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, so I read it and it was really good. 5 stars, obviously. Carrie Soto is a retired tennis player and she's like one of like the greatest tennis players that has ever played, but she's retired now until a different tennis player comes and is about to break her record for like the greatest number of slams or something, and she's like comes out of retirement just to take her record back, which honestly like is so girl boss of her. Like, I love that's her motivation. You follow her from like childhood to like when she was like at her peak. I don't know what's called, guys. There's like so many tennis terms which I didn't understand. They all went over my head, but it's fine. And then after she came out of retirement, and like honestly like the character development after she came out of retirement was crazy because she comes here and she's like so confident, by the way, despite the fact that she's 30, like the oldest player on I don't know, the roster, I don't know, on the chart, I don't know, the other characters as well. Her coach her entire life has been her father, and her father was actually such an interesting character. He was just there for her, but she didn't realize that. And then there is another man, I forgot his name, but like the love interest, there's like hardly any romance in it, but it is them. There is a little pinch of romance in there. I literally recommended it to my friend who plays tennis because I'm like, you play tennis, you need to read this. I don't know if you did. I'm gonna ask her actually. I hope she did. Next, I finally finished The Circus Strain by Amita Parikh. This is a historical fiction about this like traveling circus in Europe. Our main character, Lena, she's the daughter of the illusionist of the circus, Theo, and the whole like father-daughter dynamic is actually crazy because they're like the only person the other person has. First priority for both of them is each other, until one day, I don't know what city they were passing through, another boy same age as Lena, they're like 7 or 8 or 9 years old at this point, and she just pops on the train, and he's a Jew, and obviously this is like, you know, World War II time period, and he's not allowed to be a Jew at this point. But the circus people, they take him in and they give him a home, they destroy his passport, they get him new documents, and they just take him in, and he's like training under Theo to become an illusionist too. Oh wait, did I mention this? Lena has a disability, she's in a wheelchair, and so she doesn't have many friends, and she doesn't really contribute to the circus either. Alexander, that boy, literally becomes her best friend. It's like the craziest, like most slow burn childhood friends to lovers you'll ever see. They like get separated at one point. It's like a huge ride because you're so scared for them that whole time. You literally follow their entire lives from childhood to adulthood. And like, I read the author's note at the end, and so much of it is like inspired by actual things that happened, and I was like reading up on them, and it's actually so interesting. I actually love historical fictions. I should read more of them. The last book that I read was If You Could See the Sun, because I like the cover. It is such a pretty cover, and I read it because of the cover, but honestly, it wasn't the best. I didn't get the hype. All the characters felt really flat. It takes place in like a private school in Beijing. The main character, Alice, she's like won a scholarship to this private school because she's like the most hardworking, intelligent girl ever. She does have an academic rival, Henry. He's like on the same level as her. The plot of this book is that like she just turns invisible. One day at school, she literally randomly just like turns invisible, and so she goes to Henry and they devise a plan to like capitalize off her invisibility powers. They make this app that people can send requests to for her to like do like these crazy like sneaking around jobs. It was giving Gossip Girl at one point. It gave me Gossip Girl vibes because like the underdog has like made this app to, you know, sneak around on people and learn all their dirty, disgusting secrets. But like all the characters were so flat. They had no personality whatsoever. Henry had like the rich boy archetype, and then Alice was just like your hardworking. She was compared to Macbeth a lot. The ending did not make any sense. How did she get away with all of that? But then also like it was so underwhelming. Yeah, that's like the last book that I read. I felt like I didn't really read any autumny books, even though I said that I was going to read autumny books this autumn. But it's okay because there's still November. November is the last autumnal season, and I'm gonna make a TBR for November that is autumnal because we need to preserve this weather. It's literally my favorite season. It's Gilmore Girls season. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. This was so awkward.